Hello, everybody. How are you today? It is St. Valentine's Day, a fabulous day for lovers old and young. Some of you are just starting out on your Valentine journey. I have been with my husband for, I think, 45 years. Yes, I think this will be 45 years. So we're pretty old at the Valentine's Day um, activities that happen. And my husband's pretty good at, always providing the flowers and the candies and everything. So I'm grateful for that, I guess. Um, Never been really much to um, to celebrate things like nonsense holidays. I think they're called. But anyways, happy Valentine's Day, everybody. I wanted to take this opportunity while we are talking about Heart Day to talk about your heart health. So, hi, Fred. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Fred. Um, so, we, those of us with a chronic illness, need to understand that very often our chronic illness is putting pressure on our heart. And this is what happened to me with my heart problem. Um, I was working full time. I was an instructor, a business instructor. I had not been feeling well. And I went to my doctor and I told him, not really feeling too well. And of course, he said, this was before I was diagnosed with COPD. In fact, this is why I got diagnosed with COPD. But, anyways, and he said, there's nothing wrong with you. As most doctors will tell women, there's nothing wrong with you. And I think that as women, we are really eager to accept it because we kind of feel like I missed a bullet that time, right? The problem is that doctors don't take women's heart health seriously. Most of the women who have been to emergency or to their doctors will be diagnosed with anxiety, stress. They want to put you on Valium. They want you to calm down. They want you to take a couple of weeks off to alleviate the stress in your life. And for the most part, I think doctors don't believe that women have heart attacks, but they do. They do. Um, the literature on heart attack and all of the studies on heart attacks have been done with men because doctors really do believe that women don't suffer from heart attacks, when in fact, there's no reason why we shouldn't suffer from heart attacks. After all, we were big smokers. At least most of us were. And even if you weren't a smoker and you got COPD, um, it still puts a strain on your heart. So I went to the doctor sometime in April or May and said, I'm not feeling well. The doctor says, nothing wrong with you. Lose a couple pounds and quit smoking. Well, for my doctor, that was always the issue. Lose a couple pounds and quit smoking. And that for him was the cure all for everything. So I thought, he's not taking it seriously. And if the doctor's not taking it seriously, then why should I? Well, I'll tell you why. Because actually the doctor doesn't have a vested interest in your medical needs or your health. Your doctor is just busy getting each patient through the 15-minute allotment time without having to work overtime. He doesn't really, you're not his mother, you're not his father. And we're too easy, we're too willing to accept what the doctors tell us. So I went to the doctor. I told him I wasn't feeling good. He said, lose weight, quit smoking, which neither one were going to happen. I just wasn't at that point yet. And I kept thinking, I feel so crappy that I probably can't lose any weight now, anyways. And I don't have the ability to start exercising and quitting smoking and all of that, right? So time went on. I was feeling fatigued. I was sleeping all the time. I moved from full-time employment to part-time so that I could come home and sleep in the afternoon because I really needed to sleep. I felt overall not well, kind of sick to my stomach. And so what happened to me was I had a cardiac arrest. So let's talk about the difference between a cardiac arrest and a heart attack. A heart attack is a blockage. It's something to do with the plumbing throughout your body. It's something can't move. It's like there's a blockage. Blood can't get to the heart, and it causes a fair amount of pain. That's a heart attack. And for a heart attack, that person will be able to talk to you. He will be able to call 911. He will stay alert and aware and be able to answer your questions. I had a sudden cardiac arrest, and this is a circuit disconnect. This is more like a plug not being inserted properly into the wall. And so what happens here is that it's electrical, where a heart attack is plumbing. This is an electrical thing. And so you're not getting enough, you're not getting any juice to your heart, and your heart just stops, bang. And this happened to me. So if this happened to you and there was nobody around, you would definitely die. I was very lucky that my kids were around, and they called an ambulance. And the funny thing is, at the time, none of them knew how to do CPR. Unbelievable. Now my daughter teaches it, but at the time, nobody knew how to do CPR, so they all kind of standing there looking at me. And when the ambulance came, when the paramedics got here, they were talking about vital signs absent. And my kids couldn't believe it. They thought I was breathing, but I really wasn't. It's a terrible thing because you lose consciousness. Not like a heart attack. With heart attack, remember that you're awake and you're aware of what's going on, and you feel pain. But women don't have heart attacks the way that men do. Women have heart attacks that have onset symptoms for about 6 months. And although most of them have been to the doctor and talked about what's going on in that, doctors are saying, yeah, you're just stressed, just rest your pretty head. And so if you're going to the hospital and you're talking about your chest not doing well, women should be asking for a woman doctor. Women doctors understand more than men doctors do about women's health. And it's a known fact. This isn't something that I just thought up myself. This is a known fact that male doctors really don't know that much. One of the things that can lead to a heart attack or a cardiac arrest is stroke. And stroke, the acronym for stroke is FAST. Look at the person's face, he can't smile. Look at his arms, he can't raise his arms. Check their speech, tell them something to repeat to you, give them something to repeat to you. And time is very, very important with stroke. People must be taken. People must be taken to the hospital and treated within 3 to 4 hours of having a stroke. And normally, unless it's a major bleed or something like that, normally most of the symptoms of a stroke can be reversed. But remember that time is of the essence, right? It's very, very important. So for females, when we have a heart issue, we don't have the pain in our left arm like men do. We tend to have pain more in the back, across our back. We don't get the pain in the jaw like men do. But our symptoms do last a lot longer, and our symptoms are much, much different than men. So if you go to your doctor and your doctor says, "Did you have any numbness or tingling in your left arm?" you will know that he is talking to you about male symptoms. And as I said, male symptoms are different than female symptoms. And I belong to a group that's called Canadian Women with Medical Heart Issues. And I learned a lot from that. In fact, as we know from having COPD and from having chronic illnesses, we know that we learn more from our peers than we ever did from the doctor, right? The doctor doesn't tell us that much. He gives us very little information. They don't really want you to know a whole lot because they would just rather not having to explain it to you. And like I said, if you think you got off easy, this is your life. This is your life. And I was too eager to believe what the doctor said to me and to take him at face value, right? This was my problem. This was something that I did, and I did it consciously, thinking that, I don't know, I dodged a bullet, but I didn't dodge a bullet. He dodged a bullet because he would have had to take care of me. And all he was interested in was getting home that night for his dinner. So this is why I'm so eminent about advocating for yourself. Oh my goodness, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. This is why I'm so so concerned that people are not advocating for themselves. If your doctor has misdiagnosed you, nothing's going to happen to him. Nothing's going to happen at all to anybody except for you. And if you're not screaming loud enough, and if you're not asking for the help that you deserve, you're not going to get it. And that's all there is to it. That's just the way that it is. So know that anytime that we have heart issues, or when we have a chronic illness, we can develop heart issues. And there's no question about that. There's lots of things that have been written about it, right? And I ended up with heart failure because of the strain from my lungs to my heart. Had nothing to do with my sudden cardiac arrest. It's a different issue, right? So I think my message today is to speak up, speak for yourself. Remember that the squeaky wheel gets the oil. And if you're not a squeaky wheel, then you are not doing enough to take care of yourself. This is Barbara Moore for Catch Your Breath 60, and I appreciate everybody who's joined me today. Please leave a comment down below so that, and if you would like and subscribe, it would be great. Thank you very much. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.